Here at the Staples Center in Los Angeles, it is time for 12 rounds or less at 154 pounds. Sebastian Fundora, undefeated, taking on the undefeated Sergio El Nino Garcia. This has fistic fireworks written all over it. And for Garcia, 32 of his 33 fights have been in his native Spain. The one fight abroad, February 2019, he traveled to London, outpointed the aggressive Ted Cheeseman, who was 15-0 at the time. Big upset, easily the best win of his career. And oh yeah, he attempted 891 jabs in that fight, the second most in history, regardless of weight class, the most at 154, and his 1,396 punch attempts versus Cheeseman, the third highest total ever tracked by Showstats at 154 pounds. And speaking of throwing punches in bunches, well, say hello to his opponent, Sebastian Fundora, 23, shooting up the rankings, has made a name for himself as, well, must see. He engages in numerous action fights, loves to throw over 100 punches around. He is 17-0-1 with 12 knockouts. Nicknamed the Towering Inferno, and he has proven to be en fuego with his aggressive style of fighting.
And as we look at the numbers, his nickname becomes obvious because any tape involving him, you have to dwell on his height and his reach, which is extraordinary. The only thing is, a lot of times, he doesn't want to use it. He wants to fight on the inside. We'll see.
Taking the night off.
Here's Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Well, fans, from Staples Center here in Los Angeles, Premier Boxing Champions presents our next world title eliminator, brought to you by Mayweather Promotions, GTD Promotions, TGB Promotions, and Showtime, in association with Samson Boxing and Maravilla Box. This bout is sanctioned by the WBC, President Mauricio Suleiman, Supervisor Nancy Rodriguez. Judging at ringside, from Connecticut, Tom Carasone. From California, Dr. Lou Moret. And from Mexico, Alejandro Rochin. And we introduce our third man to the ring. He'll be in charge of this bout, Ray Corona. All right, fans, here we go with the co-main event of the evening. 12 rounds of boxing in a battle of undefeated fighters for the WBC Super Welterweight World Title Eliminator. Introducing to you first, on my right, fighting out of the red corner, wearing black trunks with yellow and white trim, joining us from Torrelavega, Cantabria, Spain. He weighed in at 153.5 pounds. He is undefeated in his campaign to the ring with a record of 33 wins, no losses, 14 wins coming by way of knockout. Tonight making his U.S. debut, here is the WBC #2 ranked world contender, introducing Sergio El Nino Garcia. And his opponent across the ring on my left, fighting out of the blue corner, standing at 6 feet 5.5 inches, wearing brown trunks with gold trim, and fighting out of Coachella, California. He weighed in at a ready 153.25 pounds. He also is undefeated in his campaign with a record of 17 wins, no losses, 1 draw with 12 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the popular southpaw contender, ranked the WBC #4 contender in the world, introducing the undefeated phenom known as the Towering Inferno, Sebastian Fundora. And once again, our referee in charge, now to give instructions, Ray Corona.
Mira, abajo de este, low. Right here is good. Okay, guys want to touch gloves, do it now. God bless.
Ray Corona in his 21st year as a professional referee, working his 610th professional fight, both Fundora and Garcia coming off career-long layoffs.
All the way back. Ready? Listo!
Since an August 2019 split draw against Jamonte Clark that many ringside observers thought could have gone Clark's way, Fundora's won 4 straight, including 3 in a row by knockout, and that includes his most impressive win to date over Nathaniel Gallimore. And for Garcia in his American debut, we expected a lot of punches early, and both are delivering out.
Yeah, you know, Garcia doesn't know what it's like to lose a boxing match. He won all 14 of his amateur fights and all 33 of his pro fights, so he's never ended a fight losing. We'll see if tonight keeps that streak going.
He has 14 knockouts in his 33 victories. Long-armed athlete, excellent stamina, Abner, high work rate, as we mentioned, and he does have some tricky mobility.
Yeah, he does. Fundora, you know what Al mentioned, and you know, if Fundora was going to use the reach, you know, coming into his fight, he's known for being an aggressive fighter. He likes the inside fight, but so far he's showing signs that he wants to use that reach.
Fundora 7-0 with 4 knockouts against 0 loss opponents. Incredible that he once made 147 pounds, and he says he could make welterweight. He's almost Anthony Joshua's height, has an 80-inch reach.
You know, Garcia averages 64 jabs per round. I don't think we'll see that number against this tall a fighter, but he will throw it a lot.
And you talk about the problems that Fundora presents, not just the height and reach, the fact that he is a lefty on top of everything.
Yeah, that adds to the dilemma. Now, Garcia, you know, has already found a way to sneak in a couple of right hands, and those punches sometimes do land. Cotto was able to land some big right hands against Fundora.
You know, what's interesting is that Garcia is known to be a boxer.
Yes.
You know, he uses the ring, but Fundora, you know, Fundora is now the boxer. Garcia is the one trying to walk him down.
You're right. That's fascinating.
And Garcia just had its head pop back like a Pez dispenser with that straight left hand from Fundora. And it is Garcia bringing the fight to Fundora, while Fundora, as you guys mentioned, using those impressive attributes to his advantage.
You know, Garcia almost has to do this, right? He can't box because the guy's so big and tall.
And he's doing what he has to do. Right uppercut on the inside, an aggressive start by Sergio El Nino Garcia. And while this one didn't win the 2017 Masters, he hopes to put on a master class in this huge opportunity.
I knew you were going to get there
Had
early.
to go there.
Had to do it.
La campana of the bell, gentlemen.
An aggressive start by Sergio Garcia. Some sweet science on the part of Sebastian Fundora.
Yeah, from the outside, Fundora landing a straight left hand, and that was his best punch in the round. And you know, when he does use that height and reach, it's really tough. And he was getting ready to throw an uppercut, which he has a good one. And the second look at that punch shows you hard to defend it against that when it's coming from a big, tall fighter.
And there's that uppercut you mentioned that was following it up.
He's down. He's breathing? Yeah. Keep touching. When you let him walk in, work the jabs. Right? And we work on it. Do what we're working on. You're getting him good.
It's all about La Familia for the Fundoras. His father, Freddie, is his trainer. His sister, Gabriela, sports a 4-0 professional record. His mother was a fighter, so hey, the Fundoras, they put the fun in fighting as we begin round 2.
How about this? He actually has sparred with his sister. He said she can punch.
I wonder how Thanksgiving was. I hope no fights.
Exactly.
And if it was, maybe just of the food fight. As Fundora beginning to press forward with the jab, and Garcia, he has to, like you guys said, he's doing what he has to do.
I mean, normally he would never fight this fight, Garcia. He's a boxer, a pure boxer. He's got to try and land overhand rights and make something happen against this big, tall fighter.
And for Garcia, he hasn't faced a southpaw in more than 8 years, 26 fights ago.
You know what? It's also going to be a little bit impossible to try to box Fundora because even if he tries to move backwards, you know, Fundora, yeah, he's going to get hit because Fundora, the reach.
And I think they accurately figured that out, you know. And he said, you know, I'm not even going to try.
Fundora had a growth spurt at age 14, going from 5'6" to 6'1". And now it's 6'5" and a half at 154 pounds.
You know, the problem for Garcia, though, is you fought your whole career a certain way. Now in your biggest fight, you have to completely alter who you are. That's not easy.
Well, he's coming off a career-long 351-day break, a 6th round knockout victory for Garcia and for Fundora. He has been on the sidelines for 218 days, but again has put together 3 consecutive knockout wins as they do a little dance in the center of the ring. The lead left lands for Fundora, right uppercut on the inside connects. And so Fundora putting together his combinations after.
Those uppercuts have found them home.
Yeah.
Definitely from both sides.
Both sides, yeah. Who knew you could land an uppercut against a 6'5" opponent and you're 6 inches shorter? Here comes Fundora with some nice combinations.
And really when Fundora gets hit is when he throws that jab, he opens up and it's almost impossible because you got to throw down. You know, you got to aim low.
Garcia's not having a bad round here. He's landed some pretty good shots on the inside.
For Garcia, every jab's an up jab. Is that what you're saying, Abner?
Exactly.
Fundora is 7-0 versus undefeated fighters. Hopes to go 8-0 tonight. That's impressive.
Another bell.
Let's look at the keys to victory for these two men. I said cut off the ring because I assumed Garcia would be boxing. He's not, so forget about that. No wide punches, that applies. When he throws those wide looping punches, he can get countered. And the left hand, which we saw him land, especially in round 1, the straight left, he also has a great left uppercut. For Garcia, jab, jab, jab. Well, he's trying, and normally he does, but it's hard to get it in. He wants to make Fundora lunge if he can toward him, but that's hard to do when you're going forward all the time. The overhand right, that's the one thing that does still apply, and Garcia's trying to throw it.
Good fight, guys.
This is one of those fights where right now I'd like to go home and redo the keys to victory. Because who knew it was going to be exactly like
you're in Hollywood, but no second take, buddy.
No, I can't. No rewrites?
No rewrites. As we begin round number 3, and you know, you look at Sergio Garcia, 6'1", he's not a small 154-pounder. In fact, the average height of the top 10 in the division is 5'9.5".
Yeah.
Fundora, 8 inches taller. So Garcia at 6'1", he's by no means a small 154, but everyone's small compared to Sebastian Fundora. And by the way, we did ask him, ever think about basketball? He said he couldn't even dribble.
Yeah, not his sport. You know, his dad, who trains him,
right uppercut by Garcia, and the right hand by Fundora before he switches stances out.
Yeah, his father, Freddie, who trains him, feels that Sebastian Fundora is really maturing as a fighter, and that he's really learning the craft.
Well, just 23 years of age, maturing as a human being as well, and you're right. Coming into his own, Garcia just 29. Somebody's has got to go, and that right hand left a mark on Fundora, but Fundora very calm and cool, very methodical.
And again, it's hard to get away from those overhand rights or lefts, you know, from Fundora, because again, he's always going to be the taller man. He's going to throw punches down, you know, to the smaller fighter. So the smaller fighter has to throw overhand rights, overhand lefts, because they're going to be there.
It's like Diego Corrales, Paul Williams, and others, Riddick Bowe, even these guys with the height, who wanted to fight on the inside.
You know, it's interesting, though, when he's on the inside, the uppercut has been a pretty good weapon for Garcia, even though Fundora is known for that punch.
Minute left in the third. There's a left hand that landed for Fundora, right hand by Garcia. Garcia closing the distance, wanting to get as close as possible and do as much damage as possible. Mid-range. Fundora with some defense, good head movement on the ropes.
And you know, Fundora's done some, both men have done pretty good body work, especially Fundora with that right hook.
Yeah, always finish him to the body, setting up punches really well. 1-2, uppercut.
Get off his head. Get off his head. Get off his head.
Well, the more Fundora leans, and make it an easier route for that uppercut by Garcia.
If I'm Garcia, I'm down there already. You got to work the body. The body's exposed.
And he's uppercuts and the... Oh, there's a right hand to the body by Fundora.
¿El agua, Gaby?
Let's get some water here.
Turning.
Turning it. Yeah, he's standing there. Keep turning it. When he tries to, don't mess with him. You can control it from the outside.
Falling in.
And always go back to that body, okay? Always go back to that. Un poquito más de pie. Un poquito más de pie.
Okay, keep moving the feet a little better, okay?
All right, let's go. Second down.
Well, round 4. Fundora loves to study tape of older fighters like defensive wizard Willie Pep, and he loves watching Tyson Fury and the way he uses range. Of course, 2 years ago, this month in this building, Tyson Fury did his best imitation of pro wrestling icon Undertaker, dropped for the second time in the 12th and final round against Deontay Wilder, came back, outboxed Wilder, got the draw, and of course went on to win the trilogy in that last meeting, one of the greatest heavyweight fights in history.
Yeah, that was an epic night for us here doing that fight. You know, this fight has settled into an interesting pattern with the overhand rights coming from Garcia. He's trying to use the uppercut Fundora, doing some pretty good work on the inside with the short uppercuts and right hooks. You know, it's intriguing that Fundora lets you get on the inside against him. And then he does his good work as well.
Well, he feels comfortable, you know, when the fighter gets in there, he's comfortable because really Garcia's not doing much for it to make him feel uncomfortable, meaning throwing body shots.
He's trying to make him feel uncomfortable.
He's landing some shots,
but Garcia's down there already. Once you work the body, he's always trying to headhunt. That's what I mean.
Yeah, that would be a good idea to go downstairs a little more.
An uppercut, jack the jaw of Garcia by Fundora. Fundora in his rhythm, doesn't mind being along the ropes, and he is beginning to, that uppercut again. That's Garcia coming forward with the right.
A left hook by Garcia and a right, and the nose is bloody to Fundora.
There it is, a straight to the body. You want to set up your punches, you know, down, have Fundora reach, and now you give yourself an opportunity to throw the overhand right.
Oh, actually, the blood is from the cut around the eye of Garcia. I stand corrected.
You know, in recent months, Spain has enjoyed big successes on the big stage of boxing. The upset by Sandor Martin on Mikey Garcia, Kiko Martinez over Kid Galad, and now Garcia wanting to take it to Sebastian Fundora. Uppercut.
Well, they're battling, and that cut spewing blood on us at ringside. That's how far that blood is traveling from the eye of Garcia. So it demonstrates how bad a cut it could be.
Right to the body by Garcia. Final 10 seconds of the 4th round, scheduled for 12. Fight with huge implications between two undefeated 154s.
Here we look on the inside, the uppercut by Fundora. What a really terrific uppercut. And that may have been where the cut started. Even though it looked like it landed elsewhere, the blood looks like it's spurting from there after that uppercut. Later on, Garcia, I think, feeling some urgency for that cut. Again, the overhand right, and that one got in pretty well. He's landed some of those. Remember, Garcia, not a big puncher.
Come on, champion. Come on, champion. Let's go do it.
Vamos ganando, Oscar.
Round number 5. Jab lands for Fundora. And counters as Garcia walks into that uppercut. It's not discouraging Garcia, but Abner, it's going to be hard to try to navigate the difference in reach.
Well, I mean, honestly, Fundora doesn't give you a hard time getting inside.
Well, he's kept him at bay well, though, for a lot of the time in this instance.
Garcia, like for instance, right there, he's inside. He can work the body, work the uppercuts. He's had, moments where he lands really well uppercuts. But again, Fundora comes back with his own uppercut.
Yeah, the thing about it is Fundora is a good inside fighter.
Yes.
And there we see demonstrations of it with the right hook and a couple of those uppercuts.
Catapult right hand by Garcia. Under 2 minutes left here in the 5th. Oh, the uppercut misses for Garcia. The right uppercut lands for Fundora.
I want to see Fundora to follow up a little bit more punches after he throws the uppercut. He misses the uppercut and then he backs up, Missed the uppercut, he come back with the hook. There it is.
Fundora says he knows he's in the entertainment business. This is show business. He's a product and he's got to show off the product to the people. Again, 12 of his 17 wins inside the distance for Garcia. Just 14 of his 33 wins have come via form of knockout. Uppercuts on the inside. Nice right hook, left hand down the middle by Fundora. Chopping left by Garcia. 60 seconds left in the 5th.
It's been a good round for Fundora, though, for the most part. He's landed some great punches on the inside.
A little bit of sluggish Fundora. He needs to sit down on his punches a little bit more.
Garcia biting down, moving forward, lands the right uppercut on the inside. Countered upstairs by Fundora. Combination by the southpaw, Fundora. We are through 5 at Staples Center, Los Angeles.
You're doing fine. You're doing fine.
Súbeme con todo, manitas, cuando puedas. No te eches tan encima. No te me eches tan encima.
Don't keep on top of him.
Vale. No te obsesiones con la derecha.
Okay, don't get too obsessed with your right hand, okay? Work the body too. Do you want me to start the attack now? What you're doing now is fine. So when you hit him, don't just go right on top of him. You hit him and then you go back a little bit, okay? Come on, champ, let's go. That's the game plan.
All right, let's go. Second down.
Round number 6, scheduled for 12 at 154 pounds between the undefeated Sebastian Fundora and Sergio Garcia. Garcia making his American debut and eating that left hand, then right to the body by Fundora. Fundora hasn't been as active in terms of punch output as we've seen recently, Al.
No, he normally averages 80 punches per round. Then again, Garcia averages 106 punches per round. He has not been able to do that against this tall, rangy fighter. And Fundora a little bit less active as well. You know, they've each landed just around the same number, or thrown the same number of punches, about 340 punches.
And that's what I mean about Fundora. You know, he needs to put up the volume a little bit more. When he lets his hands go, he does really well. But he's just concentrating on that left or the uppercut.
Fundora can land that left uppercut almost at will. I mean, he's now landing it with impunity. His last 3 fights have ended within 6 rounds, and we're now in round number 6, so he may not be duplicating that.
We did mention both of them coming off career-long layoffs, the stakes of the fight, the importance, so both of them wanting to make sure Garcia lands a left on Fundora. Fundora aided and brushed it off. 1:11 left here in the first half of this 12-round affair.
Garcia putting a little bit more pressure there. Trying to let his hands go.
There have been 10 champions from Spain. And while Sergio Martinez, calling Spain home from Argentina, born, but
transplanted.
Yes. 45 seconds left in the 6th.
And Garcia is managed by one of the all-time great champions, Sergio Martinez, also a Argentine.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Spain, but from Argentina.
Yep.
Work. Put your arm out. Leg mano. Stop. Take a step back.
All right, the first half of this 154-pound fight is in the books. Let's bring in Steve Farhood.
Mo, the current champions at 154, there are only 2 of them. Brian Castaño and Jermell Charlo. There would have been only one, but of course they fought to a draw in a unification fight earlier this year. We take a look at notable contenders. At the top, it's been somewhat of a revolving door, but right now the contenders are an interesting bunch because you have a lot of young fighters. These are all 30 years of age or younger, including Fundora and Garcia. And Tim Zhu, very hot right now. Erickson Lubin, he's been around for a while, but he's also under 30. So all these fighters under 30, perhaps it's a division in transition.
Looking forward to the rematch between Charlo and Castaño. It'd be nice to have another undisputed.
That's for sure. The overhand right there and a nice jab. The good jabs have been few and far between for Garcia. Even though I know it's hard to jab against this fighter, it's a punch he should use more. And normally he would be throwing a lot of them.
Well, yeah, if you throw your own jab, you take Fundora's jab away. It'll make it a lot easier for you to get inside, that's for sure.
Work, put your arm out, Sebastian. Hey, mano. Ahí está.
And once again, let's go to Steve Farhood for his unofficial scores at the halfway point.
Mo, I think Sebastian Fundora is totally in charge of this fight. You know, a lot of times what the judges see is how they score, and his punches are very clear to see. They're very long, and that left uppercut is landing again and again. Not always with a lot of power, but that's been the dominant punch. I have him ahead at this point, 59-55, or 5 rounds to 1.
You know, Sergio Garcia called Fundora a complicated opponent. That may be the understatement of the century, right?
Yeah.
It is complicated to fight him. You know, and the problem is more complicated for Garcia, who isn't suited to this kind of fight. He's not a power puncher. He doesn't do this normally, and now all of a sudden he's forced to be this kind of fighter, trying to get in the inside, land overhand rights, uppercuts. It's not what he does.
Yeah, and Fundora's landed over 100 of his power shots, 35% clip. Past the midpoint of the 7th, uppercut again by Fundora.
But to your point, Al, Fundora is a pressure fighter. He is a ballin' puncher, and we have not yet seen that from in this fight. I mean, he's landing punches.
Not sitting down.
Not sitting down. I mean, he's winning the fight. He's landing.
But yeah, not
punches.
throwing at the volume we used to either.
And I would like for him to do that.
Yeah, and you're right. Maybe not setting down on his punches as much as you would expect.
And Garcia gives you those opportunities. He's right in front of you.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Put your arm out. Put your arm out. Leg mano. Sebastian, pull your arm out.
Left uppercut on the break by Fundora. Right hand by Garcia, but Fundora opening up a plethora of uppercuts by Fundora. Under 30 seconds left in the 7th. Right hand to the body. Right hand misses upstairs for Garcia.
The right to the body has been a staple in Fundora's attack, and one of the more important punches he's been throwing.
And Garcia does land that uppercut, which is unbelievable, but that right uppercut is scored.
Pretty good round for Garcia.
There's Gabriela Fundora, undefeated at 4-0 in her brother's corner. Of course, father, the trainer.
You got better job than that, right? Right? So he's coming in. Just touch him. Okay? You can do it.
He's has to go look for you. How's he gonna see when you put the hand on him? Mantén la puta distancia. Mantén la puta distancia y punto.
Maintain the distance, okay? He
He
wants to go nice and tight. Don't do that. Fight the distance. Let's go.
This is round number 8, scheduled for 12, 154-pound affair between two undefeated fighters. Who wants it more? Fundora establishing the jab, but Abner again. You see it now here in round 8, and styles make fights, but you would like to see a little more aggression. You would like to see Fundora sit down and deliver with bad intentions.
Yeah, I mean, but this really doesn't play into styles make fights, because the style that Garcia is bringing does make for an interesting fight for Fundora, but he's just not trying. He's just not letting his punches go, basically. And when he does, he knows you'll be in an uppercut, straight left. He's landing at will, but then he'll move. And by the way, I want to thank Al, because he took one for the team. He got blood all over him, and he said, "Hey, after you got too nice of a suit for
Yeah, we're good.
Garcia with both huge, a lot of experience, a lot more experience.
I got through about 35 amateur fights without ever being cut, so there you go. Yeah, Garcia has so much more experience. 228 rounds as a pro to only 76 for Fundora, but you almost could throw that out the window because of how odd this matchup is for Garcia. And these rounds, you know, there are a couple of these rounds, I don't think they're going to be that easy to score. You know, I agree with Steve that Fundora, for the most part, has controlled this fight, but I think there are a couple of rounds in there that might be, you know, a little closer. But I agree with him. Fundora's probably ahead in this fight.
And desultory numbers in this round: 2 of 14 for Fundora, 6 of 29 for Garcia. So yeah, Fundora, pump up the volume.
Yeah.
But he is controlling the fight.
Yeah, for the most part, for sure.
But he said he's in the entertainment business, Abner. He's here to put on a show. Second consecutive fight in Southern California, Coachella, California native, bright light, Staples Center, Los Angeles, and he and Garcia looking for a huge victory, as they would love to put themselves in the mix to face the likes of the winner of the rematch between Charlo and Castaño.
You know, I think Garcia is making a little bit of a statement here in round 8. I think he's kind of controlling things against Fundora and landing some nice punches.
He's definitely, thrown almost twice as many punches as Fundora and landed twice as many. Fundora with a combination. Now Garcia continues to bring the fight to Fundora. Still to come, the main event. Floyd Mayweather Jr., the mentor, the main influence on Gervonta Tank Davis' career against Barrios. It was Floyd Mayweather who went to his corner and said, hey, you need a knockout. You're behind on the unofficial scorecard of Steve Farad, and he delivered the knockout in the 11th round.
That was a unique moment, captured well by us.
And Floyd Money Mayweather, all about pay-per-view stardom and round number 9, Davis Cruz still to come. Battle of knockout artists. Cruz taking the fight on short notice, but those in the know feel that he may prove to be a more formidable foe for Gervonta Tank Davis.
And both fighters doing something that we're not used to seeing. Garcia being the aggressive, Fundora boxing when he's most of the time he's an aggressive fighter. So we're seeing different styles from both fighters.
There's a right hand that clips Fundora from Garcia. Double jab from Fundora, doesn't follow up with the left. Garcia goes to the body and then upstairs with the right and a left.
The Fundora family has an interesting approach. The sparring partners that they get, they have a casita that they built where the sparring partners get housed. As we look at Steve's scoring, and it's
getting Garcia the last round,
which I thought was appropriate. They have a casita that the boxers actually built. A lot of the boxers worked on it, the family worked on it, and the sparring partners come and stay there with them, which is intriguing. You don't see that very often.
Both of them want a home in the penthouse of the 154-pound division, as Fundora sticks the jab. Pattern developing. Need to diversify and find a way to, again, clean, effective punching. Obviously, it's Fundora, but Garcia's definitely having his moments here in the last couple of rounds.
It's interesting, he's able to get in there. He's throwing more punches. He's throwing double the amount of punches of Fundora. Is he winning these last couple rounds? It's conceivable, right? And Fundora is just not a lot of activity coming from him either in this.
And that's where you got to take advantage if you're Garcia.
Yeah.
Fundora's not throwing much. You go in there, you do your job.
Garcia finally now using the jab, and that's a staple normally of his attack.
Los Angeles, home to a galaxy of stars, and Gervonta Tank Davis, no matter where he goes, he brings out prominent personalities. He puts the pop in pop culture. There's 10-time NBA All-Star Carmelo Anthony, a member of the NBA 75th anniversary team and a member of the Los Angeles Lakers. Dwight Howard, another Laker, 8-time NBA All-Star and a member of the 2020 NBA champions. Here's Kenny Smith, 2-time NBA champ with the 94 and 95 Houston Rockets. These hardwood greats taking in the action. Speaking of hardwood greats, anything is possible for Kevin Garnett and the truth, Paul Pierce.
They remember that Boston team here at Little Booze.
And you talk about upsets that shock the boxing world. George Kambosos, undefeated, knocking off Teofimo Lopez, now a unified lightweight champion as we begin round number 10.
Short little uppercut to start this round from Garcia.
See if we see a little bit more urgency from Garcia.
Urgency! Right uppercut by Garcia. But Abner, again, 10 rounds or 10th round scheduled for 12. You talk about urgency. The offense, the energy, the intensity.
And these are two ranked fighters, you know. This is
with a lot at stake.
This is the platform where you really want to showcase your talent. This is a platform where you want to, you know, show the world who really you are, you know. And you know, again, people are watching the fight right now. Fundora definitely winning the fight. Garcia, an unknown fighter who comes to this, you know, country, to this, to LA to showcase his talent, are not doing his job.
Al, I find it hard to believe that over 1,100 punches have been thrown combined. Just the way the tenor of the fight.
No, it's a very good point. You know, listen, I think that the nature of this matchup has created some of these problems. You know, just who these guys are. This is not the fight that Garcia ever would fight. He's trying to fight a whole different fight. There's a nice jab by him. But I give Garcia credit. He's the one trying to make this fight in the last 3 or 4 rounds. How well he's doing. This isn't the style he fights in. You know, it'd be like some football team that runs the football all the time being forced to throw 50 passes. He's trying his best, but he can't do it. So the question is, can Fundora put a statement on this fight because he has these physical advantages? And you're right, he may be winning more of the rounds. We don't know because we don't know what the judges are saying.
There's ways of winning the fight, meaning you win a fight where you really didn't win the crowd, and that's what you want to do if you want to make a statement.
Garcia continues to go to the well with the right uppercut.
Pull your arm out, den el mano. La campana, the bell, gentlemen.
More basketball royalty in attendance. 2-time NBA Finals MVP gave the Toronto Raptors their title, and now with the Clippers, of course, another Los Angeles team.
boom, boom, keep moving, boom, boom. Play with that jab. You got better jab in there. I know you do. Right? He's getting a little crowded. Don't get crowded. Move those legs. Good leg. You got better legs than that. You keep that hand up. He's trying to...
Rabia, me cago en mi putísima madre. Eso es. A matarle.
Let's go for the kill. Let's go the kill. You have it in you. Let's go. Okay, let's go and work that body. Let's go.
11, Mom, 11. I'm 11.
Well, there's definitely a sense of urgency from our terrific translator, Felix De Jesus, as we begin round number 11, and there's a left hand down the middle that scores for Fundora. And Fundora going to the body with a right.
And he's, you know, kind of trying to channel what his father said to him, even though if it wasn't, you know, super emphatic. You know, he's trying to, Fundora is trying to get something started here in this round that's definitive and landing a nice uppercut.
And that's a perfect definition, perfect way to show sitting down on your punches. You sit down on your punches, you can even hear them all the way over here. There we go. That's the volume I want to see from Fundora.
But he muted it immediately. Yeah. But that thanks to Garcia coming back as well.
But Fundora usually, you know, he's the type of guy that will sit there and trade punches with you. He's an aggressive fighter. So, yeah, if Garcia is throwing his punches as well, well, here, Fundora will come back with the zone.
Gets the right uppercut. Garcia lands a right and left to the face of Fundora.
You know, we've talked about the fact that Fundora's been creating these stoppages, but tonight he hasn't been able to come close to doing that. I don't think he's hurt Garcia at any point. Part of it is because he might not be setting down his punches as much as he'd like, or as he should be, but still, you know, he just got done, you know, with recent fights in which he demonstrated that power. I mean, he's KO'd his last 3 opponents within 6 rounds. We haven't seen that power from him tonight. And part of it is Garcia's taking these punches. When he does land good power punches, he's taking them well.
Fundora with a multiple punch combination.
This has been a good round for Fundora. He's been pretty accurate with his punching from long range like that.
Yeah, a little bit more volume.
Yeah. He's been much more
50
precise.
punches, but way less than he's used to throwing around. Throughout this fight, that's been the case.
Yeah, he averages 80. Garcia averages 106, but, you know,
solid right hand to the body by Fundora. And right uppercut again for Garcia. 12th and final round coming your way. Huzo is going to go at the Staples Center in LA.
Well, we did have some exchanges in that last round that were pretty good. A right hand, both landing punches simultaneously. A right hand by Garcia and a left by Fundora. In a round in which Fundora, for the most part, did excellent work. Now, Garcia on the inside, this is that kind of eye-catching uppercut at the end of the round. And we've seen Garcia land a number of these uppercuts.
There's the last round. Let's go for it. Show him your boxing skills. Come on. Let's go. You got this round to do it. Some water, please. Last one. Let's go for it. Boxing. Let's go. Box him.
12th and final round, and you want him to box.
That's intriguing.
I have a feeling that both fighters are going to do what they were supposed to do the entire fight in this last round.
That's right. That would be intriguing, wouldn't it?
Yeah. It happens.
Yeah, it has happened, hasn't it?
you wanted Fundora to use his attributes, definitely doing that.
Yes.
More in this one.
Yeah, he is keeping things at bay and showing a little lateral movement, which is, of course, the key, the pivoting and whatever. If you just go straight back.
And yet, with less or just over 2 minutes left, you want to see what these two are made of. You don't want to go back to the dressing room having not left everything inside the ring, especially on this stage, on this night.
100%. You don't want to just go in with the win. You want to impress the crowd. You want to impress people. You're on a pay-per-view fight, undercard of a major event. So, I mean, you got to go out there and put an exclamation point.
And the problem here is that Fundora has not been able to hurt Garcia, and Garcia is not the kind of puncher that would normally hurt Fundora. So between those two facets, plus what complicates things for Garcia in terms of the physical dimensions of Fundora, it's created this kind of immutable problem. Nice uppercut by Fundora.
Garcia wanting to be the sprinkler system that extinguishes the towering Inferno, and here we are with 60 seconds left.
Gotta keep it up.
I think it malfunctioned in that movie, didn't it? I'm pretty sure.
"45 seconds left between Sebastian Fundora and Sergio Garcia. Both of them undefeated, both of them wanting an opportunity and a championship.
No. Work, guys.
Work, guys, is the instruction from the referee. Garcia continues to come forward, lands a left, misses with the wild right.
They're both trying in this 12th round. It just hasn't been effective, only from time to time. Oh my!
And
Wow,
Garcia lands a left hand, and Garcia with a burst at the end of the fight. Abner Mares, you've been in big fights.
Yes, sir.
You've been in big fights in this building. You are the heart, the talents of a champion. What'd you think of this fight tonight, and why?
I thought it was, great win for Fundora.
If it is a win.
Yeah, if
If it is a win, of course, but I mean, it almost seems like it is. And again, but this is a place, a platform where you want to showcase more than just the win. You want to impress the people, the crowd, the boxing world, especially if you're already ranked in this 154th division. You want to make a statement. And I didn't see that from either fighter, to be honest.
Al, not to put you on the spot by any means, but yeah, assess the fight and what were you? Tell us what you thought.
I think there were the physical dimensions of him and some of the issues that stylistically this fight presented, and the fact that Garcia is not the kind of fighter made for the task he had at hand, created a less than artistic fight from those standpoints. And we'll look back and we see the work on the inside. Fundora, nice combination. The hook, the uppercut and the right hook. That's the quintessential combination that he wants to land in this fight, and did from time to time. And then this was the eye-catching left hook. But really, he didn't deliver it as well as we thought when it happened. And maybe that's this fight in microcosm, isn't it? But he was still battling away at the end in what turned out to be a kind of a close 12th round, with both men getting some things accomplished.
Their nicknames proving to be more dramatic than the fight tonight. Towering Inferno against El Nino, but we will await the judges' scores as we look at the numbers.
Yeah, and we look at it, and part of the problem here, again, is low percentage landed, both in terms of overall punches and power punches.
Here's Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of action, we have a unanimous decision. Here are the score totals. Judge at ringside, Tom Corazon, scores the bout 115 to 113. Alejandro Rochin sees the action 117 to 111, and Dr. Lou Moret scores the bout 118 to 110. All three in favor of the winner of the WBC Super Welterweight World Title Eliminator, the towering Inferno, Sebastian Fundora.
Sebastian Fundora improves to 18-0. One drop. Let's go to Jim Gray.
All right, Mauro, thank you very much. Sebastian, congratulations to you. This was a really awkward fight. It was a tough stylistic fight, wasn't it?
Yes. Well, this camp we were working a lot of boxing, and I wanted to display a little bit of boxing for this fight. I felt like I was using my distance a lot more for this fight, and it showed.
Do you feel as though your height in this instance was a big advantage?
Definitely, definitely. Especially on the second part of the fight, I felt like that 6 and 12, we switched up a pace. We started moving a lot more instead of sitting there and trading punches with them that we usually do. Like I said, I just wanted to display something different from what I'm used to doing, banging and getting hit back. But I hope you guys enjoyed it.
And where do you think you are? Where do you assess where you are right now, undefeated, and what do you think is next for you, and what are you ready for?
I'm ready for whatever the PBC team has, for us. So,
letting Sam Watson decide? Uh-oh.
Sam Watson can do whatever he wants, man. He's a boss, man.
Sebastian, congratulations.
Thank you, boss.
All right, Mauro, back to you.
All right, Jim, thank you very much. The 23-year-old remains unbeaten, handing Sergio Garcia his first loss as Garcia falls to 33-1. As we go to the scorecards and the three judges here at ringside, all in favor of Fundora, with Dr. Lou Moret had it 118-110. Let's see how our unofficial score, Steve Farhood, had it. He had it 117-111 in favor of Sebastian Fundora.